Hello, my name is Maree, and I am the founder of the Wisdom of Love Academy. Why cannot we live in love? Why must we experience fear? Everything has a purpose. Love, in its natural state, is bliss. If you have ever felt a state of bliss, you don't want to move. Just being there is enough. You don't want to lose that state of bliss. And when you move out of bliss, you want to find that bliss again. This is the meaning of our life. We are experiencing all the states of love. Find love, lose love, love gone wrong. Fear is the attribute that we need to make these lessons possible. We live in fear of not finding love, of losing love, of something going wrong with our love. Bliss is something we fear we will never achieve, and if we find a blissful love, we are afraid of losing it. Fear has many purposes. Our physical survival is based on fear. Fear protects us from harm. Our primitive brain has the fight, flight, freeze, fawn mechanism built in as a default to activate when we feel fear. This determines much of our reactions to experiences in our lives. We try to conquer our fears so that we can take risks and have new experiences. With these new experiences come new fears. Some fears are programmed into us through our genes. We know not to try to pet a wild tiger, as we will probably get eaten. We learn to develop weapons to protect ourselves. We develop a sense of arrogance to bluff when we are outnumbered. Our parents teach us fear to protect us. We learn not to fight kids who are bigger than us, and so we may be bullied and controlled by others. We learn that power is limited and others will use their power to dominate us. We become people pleasers, introverts, comedians, and many other personality traits to protect ourselves. We know that beautiful people are liked more than plain or ugly people, and so we adapt as best we can to look beautiful. Fear creates a false self, one that needs to survive. Over many years of our childhood and early adulthood, we layer different versions of ourselves, trying to find an identity that will survive best. We then live in fear that we are not enough, that others will see through our veneer and find our faults. But in the end, we don't even know who we really are. When you live in a narcissistic society, you must choose between being an outcast or fitting in. To fit into a toxic world, you will need to adapt many of the toxic behaviours, or at least accept them in others, to be able to survive. This is the school where we learn about fear. It must be toxic and harmful for us to learn. The patriarchy was a structure designed for this school. It created power imbalance and plenty of experiences that were potentially harmful. The primitive brain was busy finding ways to survive. We needed to be physically adequate to survive, so we developed strength, courage, and confidence. We needed to be loved and accepted by others, so they would not cast us out. So we developed personality traits that would help us fit in. We needed connections so that others would look after us when we could not care for ourselves, so we developed family and friends. But when we have something important to us, we live in fear of losing it. This is where we learn our lessons. What price are we prepared to pay for being able to have a family, live in society, achieve what we want in our lives? Are we prepared to harm others to get this? We learned through war that we could harm others to protect ourselves and our family. We learned through starvation that we could harm others to steal and survive. We have had many experiences of deprivation and fear that teach us what we are prepared to do to survive. But when we flourish, when we have achieved our goals, who are we then? Do we share and look after others? Do we use our power to protect and support others? Or do we hoard our wealth and use our power to accumulate more? At what point does survival become greed? Greed is a virus that infects the weak, and they can never have enough. For them, no matter how rich they are, the fear of loss still dominates. It may be a childhood trauma or a mindset they carry, but they do not see their achievements as enough, and so they will always want more. A person may want to accumulate wealth to provide for their family, but when they have enough, they are happy to stay in the status quo and not seek more. That is the balance and harmony of work, family, and life. But when someone is driven by greed and ambition, they destroy the balance. They become workaholics, neglecting family. They live for them and their greed, losing sight of the meaning of life. The narcissist is that little child living in fear, believing they are not deserving of love. They only know how to take and see others as a means to an end. Others will see their fear and try to help them with love. But the narcissist is too consumed with ambition and greed to prove they are deserving. They want love from their parents, but they will never receive this love as the parents were incapable of giving it. So many in this world live in fear of never finding love. They try many different ways to earn love, but underneath, they may have been taught they are not deserving of love. For many generations, our parents have suffered. People who suffer struggle to love. When we carry trauma, we are intent on our own pain and forget to love those around us. If we can understand that everyone in our society carries some kind of trauma, we realize that we are harming each other on a daily basis. We keep triggering each other's pain and suffering and wondering why they react back in a negative way. Some people cannot give or accept compliments. What was their childhood like that they fear compliments? You can tell by a person's reaction to kindness what kind of childhood they had. Many have never felt loved. Others have suffered lots of rejection or abandonment. These are all fears. We want to feel safe, loved, protected. But instead, we harm each other with gossip, lies, cruelty, jealousy, competition, and many other negative behaviours. We have learned to do this to protect ourselves and our insecurities. Can a child feel safe, loved, and protected? Often not. Neither could their parents, grandparents, and other ancestors. Our history is one of wars, famine, poverty. There was abundance in between, but only those with wealth and power could thrive. But wealth and power also changed hands, and so they were not guaranteed security either. This is why they lived in fear, hoarded, and protected themselves. When you have an imbalance, people will strive to restore balance. The poor will want what the rich have. The rich will fear the poor rising up and taking their privilege away from them. So a hierarchy built on fear will eventually crumble. Through these experiences, we learn discernment. What is the price of the life we create? If you have nothing to lose, you can live without fear. When we find love, what is the price we are willing to pay to keep that love? What will we do to protect our family? Will we kill others, take from them? But then they or their loved ones will retaliate. As creators of life and experiences, we learn the cost of our creations. If we create without fear, we could create monsters or the end of the world. Fear teaches us the consequences of our actions. It teaches us to protect ourselves and those we love. Love alone is not enough. It must also be protected. This is the masculine and feminine energy that combines in balance and harmony. Every creation has love and protection built within it. This is the work of the conscious creator. When we create out of love, it can be easily destroyed or taken away from us. When we fight to protect, we can become cruel and greedy. But when we love and protect, we find that balance and harmony. We are discerning as to the price we are prepared to pay. Should I kill thousands of people to protect my wealth? Should I allow thousands to die to save one person? Should I cause harm to many to accumulate my wealth? Should I allow others to starve when I have excess? A conscious creator would use discernment to say no. Fear gives us many experiences to learn different perspectives. Sometimes we are the predator, and other times we are the victim. By seeing each perspective, we can find balance and harmony in our choices. Just because we can does not mean we should. Just because someone says it is not possible does not mean it can't be done. Conscious creators do not seek approval. They choose from discernment of what is the most loving and kind path. Allowing someone to live their own life without interference may be the right choice, even when it is painful to watch them make mistakes and suffer. Allowing someone to sacrifice themselves and die, or even assisting them with that death if they are suffering, may be the right choice. Every life has the right to choose their own path. Fear tells us that we must live to avoid consequences. Love tells us the consequences should align with the intention. Many of our laws are built on fear and create more suffering than needed. This is because we were raised to obey, conform, or be punished. This did not allow us to take responsibility for our actions or to make conscious decisions. Our children must be taught fear, but also responsibility and conscious creation. This is an expansion of the mind to be your own decision maker and learn the consequences and impact of your choices. If they live with a fear mindset, they will avoid punishment. If they live with a love mindset, they will choose the most kind and compassionate option. If we live in fear, it is easy to harm each other. If we live in love, we feel the pain of others and so avoid harming each other. Discernment teaches us the balance between nurture and protection. We may want to nurture and protect our children, but if we do so through fear, we limit their experiences. If we do it through love, we support their experiences. Fear is a necessary school so that we can understand love. We need discernment to become conscious creators. Fear teaches us discernment. As we awaken, we graduate from this school of fear and are ready to begin in the school of love. If you would like to learn more about the new mindset, go to my Wisdom of Love Academy, where I have courses to help you make the transition. The portal to the new world is open, and these courses will help you prepare to move through this portal into the new world. Details are in the description below. Feel free to leave your comments and ask questions that I can answer in future episodes. If you like this content, share it with others, like and subscribe so that more people can join us in the new world.